Facts. What's going on, y'all? It's the kid FortWorthFabian, BigBossFabo. I'm back with a reaction video for you guys, man. Today, I told y'all I was doing the Ryan Upchurch, the Holler boy documentary in its entirety. I just reacted to part 1. This is part 2 for you guys, ladies and gentlemen. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter at FortWorthFabian, man. It's the road to 1 million subs, man. So do me that favor, support a young entrepreneur, man. Donations are open. Just check out everything I pretty much got down in the description below. You can check out my Upchurch playlist as well. Check out my playlist page to see all the forms of content and reactions I do on this page. But this video specifically is about Upchurch. You know what I mean? So check out my Upchurch playlist. Part 1 was phenomenal, man. I just got so inspired and invigorated, like, dude, because I feel like there's a lot of similarities in his vision to mine, longings in terms of what he wanted to do and how he wanted to execute, you know what I mean? So we're both 90s babies, and he's very inspirational to me, man. I just came across Upchurch like a month ago, man, and really dived into his content then. And now it's just like the more I get to know about him, it's just like the more I want to just look into him and support everything he got going. So let's get into part 2, man. The Holler boy.
Who he is because of the things that they thought were wrong. The things that they thought he didn't march to the beat of the right drum. He didn't march to the rules that they set. But what happens is when you fall in that rut and you just do that, you march to orders, you don't get what you've got now. You don't get, Ryan, you don't get those breakout stars.
He actually seen talent in me when I didn't even see talent in me. I had no idea, because when I first started making all the videos and stuff, I was still working on a construction site for my family company. It was Upchurch Renovations. And, he hit me up one day. He's like, kid, he's like, you're on to something. He's like, you keep making these videos and you keep gaining more and more followers, and you're just simply saying, what's on your mind. There's a lot of other people that feel just like you about the same situation. And, at first I kind of brushed it off. I was like, nah, I'm good. I can't be a YouTuber. I don't know how, And then he coached me through it, and I told him, I was like, man, I can't quit my job. What little I'm making doing this job is, barely getting me through the week, and it's getting me by. And he was like, well, he's like, we'll do something where, I'll tell you what, you wear our clothes, you scratch our back, we'll scratch yours. Something happens, and you start gaining more and more and more and more, then we'll do more to help each other. And that's what we've done. He's not even like a business partner anymore. He's not like, well, he is a business partner, but it's not like he's a business partner anymore. It's like he is part of my family, and I'm related to this guy. We genuinely both love each other and care for each other now, because he believed in me, and I took a chance on listening to somebody I didn't know, and he took a chance on taking in somebody he didn't know, and I would never want to rep anything else besides Redneck Nation.
That's deep, man. That's love right there. Beautiful. I love that, man.
And I saw that like early on. He wasn't just like, I want to be a country rapper. He wasn't like that at all. He basically said, listen, this is who I am. This is what I do. This is how I live. And I rap. And that's really what country rap is supposed to be about. It's about taking the things from regular rap that they may identify with or they may see every day that we can't, because we don't live that life. We don't live in urban areas. Ryan gives them a voice, and that's how it started. But that was just the beginning. That was the alpha, and that was how it then started. Because then he started growing as an artist. He started experimenting. He started trying new things and putting influences and little tiny things from all different genres into that, and then basically kind of evolved into its own genre, if you want.
I grew up in the country, so my whole entire life, I listened to country. Anything from, Hank to Clint Black to freaking Patsy Cline to Jason Aldean to Justin Moore to freaking Clay Walker, Tim McGraw, Faith Hill, Gretchen Wilson. Come on, man. I grew up in the country. Everyone listens to country music in the country. Even though I did grow up in the country, I was still a young dude that was, being exposed to other types of music through school or friends. I knew who Eminem was when he came out. Who didn't know who Eminem was when he came out? My love for rap was just, I didn't know how to write a country song at the time. I didn't even know where to start. I didn't know the structure of writing a song, but I knew how to rhyme words. So I would write rap songs just about stuff I knew, just about shit we do out here in the country, shit I do with my buddies on the weekend. I mean, I didn't know that I was writing, something that was going to be so fucking hated by a lot of people. Well, you can't mix country with rap. People are always, yapping about that. Woo, 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 you can't mix country with rap. It's two separate things. Johnny Cash is a perfect example of you can do whatever you want in country, and Eminem is a perfect example of you can do whatever you want in rap.
Facts.
I mean, you can say it don't go together all you want to, but how does...
Bro, your music's universal. Why do you think there's a genre called fusion, essentially? Because nowadays people are bending the structure, the lines. The line has pretty much just been like phased out to where you can't even really tell, man. But it's like the old heads of the old age want to box everything. Like, that's why artists are called artists, not just rappers or a rocker or a country star. Like, artists can create. They can bend that boundary. They can bend that line. And I can play in this genre, and then I can go over here and, melt over in this genre. Like, bro, you cannot box me in. I create. I make music. You know what I'm saying? So I wholeheartedly agree with what he's saying right here, bro. That's what the critics will try to do. They'll try to place you somewhere. But, like, there's a million different artists, just to his example, like, that played with flirting with the boundaries. Even to say, when Nelly and Tim McGraw came together and did a rap country song, like, who saw that before then? Nobody. But was that a Billboard top song? Yes. Did people buy into that song? Yes. The naysayers are scared of stuff that's different, but they're cool to applaud you and follow the crowd when the majority accepts it. So, like, talking to anybody, bro, don't care what people say. Do you. Do what's original to you or organic to you. Don't follow the crowd because, oh, he made it doing it this way. So a lot of people make it doing it that way. But guess what they don't have? Longevity. Because it fizzles out and they have no creative bone in their body. It fizzles out and their whole career was built off of copying. That's hot right now. Oh, let me get that down. Let me write that bar down. That bar was fire. Oh, that lyric was hard. I'm going to dress how they dress. I'm going to look how they look. Nah, individuality will set you apart real quick, and it will advance your career real quick. Like,
not go together. I mean, music is always evolving. Anybody who thinks it just don't go together obviously never listened to the Talking Blues or even know what the Talking Blues is. Back in the 40s and 50s, that was a country song where someone was talking and rhyming words the whole time. I mean, don't hate on a country rapper for calling it country rap. I mean, I personally don't call it that. I call it hip-hop music. When I do rap, it's hip-hop music. I'm rapping. It's not its own thing, country rap. It is rap. It's just coming from a country guy who grew up in a country atmosphere. The name of my first project was Cheatham County. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make some songs that me and my buddies can jam to and listen to. Songs that are, relatively about us. And I made it, and I called it Cheatham County because that's where we're all from. And I posted it on iTunes and got a fucking response I didn't think I was gonna get.
I'll never forget the day when I remember it was taking a turn. He always did music and things like that. That was where his heart was music. And I remember the day when he realized how many followers he had, and he came to me and he said, you know what, Mama? He said, I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna throw one of my songs out there and see what happens. And I was like, do it.
Yeah.
Do it. And there she goes. He was I'm in 100%. He's like, that was it. That he just wanted to test the water. I guess he wanted to see how it would be accepted. Because you always question how good you are at something. And you're kind of fearful of what the response might be, because you may think you have talent, and the people around you who love you may tell you have talent. But putting it out there is really scary. And I think he wasn't really expecting it to be so well received, and it was. And that was it. After that, he knew he was onto something, and he just went with it. And I'm very proud of him for that.
I'm gambling with them roosters, even with all the Kentucky coppers. I be cooking up something like steam mash and copper. I stay smoking on loud, oil leak under a chopper. My road is kinda rocky, but I bet you I'm a topper. It ain't nothing but a gamble like dice, watch for the snake guy hiding in the grass, that's why I constantly cut mine. I'm making me a path and slowly dropping them landmines. Flame in my hand, let's make us one of them wildfires. I live out in the country, used to hang on Old Pond Creek, used to catfish with my grandpa, used to cut the grass for free.
If this was one of his first records, boy, I'll tell you, this sounds super polished. But then again, like his mom was saying, he was prepping for the time. You know what I'm saying? Dude was writing constantly, had notebooks. So obviously, I think he kind of was in his bag at this moment in terms of like he was mastering his craft, you know?
And there ain't been a damn thing that could teach me right from wrong. Used to listen to Hank Williams, try to live by all his songs. Yeah, I've been around them cowboys. I grew up in Tennessee. I ain't just part of that country, cause that country's part of me. Yeah.
And then one day I built up enough courage to sing something. I think it was a Justin Moore song, maybe. Yeah, it was a Justin Moore song. It was In the Bed of My Chevy. It was the first cover I ever put on Instagram, and it got a really good feedback. So I just started doing other covers, and I figured, you know what? They've gave me the confidence. My people who watch my stuff have given me the confidence to, you know, at least make me think I can sing. So, and then that's when I wrote Stuck on 17. And I put it out and it got a really good response. And then my first country music video that I put out was Rolling Stone. And that got such a big response. I still don't even know how to think about it. It's only been out for 3 months and it's got like 6 million views. That's crazy for somebody like me. That's blows my mind. The Chicken Willie album is more of a sentimental memory to me in my career. You know, with the loss of my grandfather, that really lit the fire underneath my ass to do what I wanted to do. Right at the time between Heart of America and Chicken Willie, the albums, you know, there was a time in my life of doubt. You know, I didn't think I was doing what I was supposed to be doing, you know, with my life. I didn't think this music stuff was gonna work out. And I actually thought about quitting after Heart of America.
Don't we all kind of go through that point in time where it's like, I mean, unless you just cool with going through the motions, so to speak, or comfortable in your situation. I feel like there's always that point in time where a lot of people kind of have that realization, like, am I really doing what I'm supposed to be doing? And it's a eureka thought, bro. If you start feeling like that, you start searching deep within yourself, you know what I mean? Because finding your dream or finding your way doesn't come as soon as you figure out you're not doing what you're supposed to do. It's a whole journey of, you know, finding out more about yourself, you know, testing your gifts, your talents. Oh man, you know, I feel like that a lot, to be completely honest with you. Like, there's so much that I envision and I want to do, you know what I mean, that nobody can understand that or see that. But I believe that God put that in me for a reason, because it's supposed to be my destiny. You know what I'm saying? So even if it ain't manifested yet, I still see it clear as day in my mind. Like, I can picture it, everything happening, you know?
Came out, and, you know, I sit there and thought. And I knew if my grandfather was here and he seen the impact I was making on people, and he seen what I was doing, my team was doing, he would stand behind it 100%. And it really it boosted me back to life and just made me want to just do better and better and better and better on every project, everything I do, every lyric, every beat, everything all around about it made me want to do everything better every time. And when I thought of that, you know, the thought of him watching down on me or being here to kind of see what was going on, it really just energizes me up. And I just want to be the best now, and I ain't never gonna stop, and I ain't gonna let nobody stop me from what I'm doing. So that's why I named the album Chicken Willie, because that's his nickname.
R.I.P. to Gramps,
his real name
man.
is William Burgess, but he's had the name Chicken Willie forever. You know, my grandfather was a real big gamecock fighter. You can ask about him in Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, and ask anybody who is over the age of 50 or 60 that fights chickens or has fought chickens, and I can guarantee you they know exactly who he is, and I can guarantee you they've got chickens of his bloodline still to this day.
Wow.
back during that
So
time,
his granddaddy was putting in real work. You know what I'm saying? It runs through the blood. Like,
going on the road, doing some little, gigs, his first gigs. And I remember the very first one he wanted to do, he needed like $750 to go do it. That was my rent money. And so I was like, he said, I'll give it back to you when I come home. I'll go do it and I'll get paid and all this and the other. And he went and did that. He left and went and did that show and didn't make any money. So we together had to struggle together to get my rent paid that week. But after that, when he did that, it was like he realized people actually came out. People came out. I think every time in the very, very beginning, like when he dropped the first song, when he did the first video or he did the first show, I think he was always so surprised that people wanted to watch, that people wanted to see him. He was really good, and I don't think he really knew how good he was at that point. It was just him and Cliffy. They didn't have Kid at that, for a long time they didn't have Kid in the picture. But him and Cliffy did it like it was nothing. And it's so weird because to think about the very first shows that they did, driving away in the little van, it was just him and Cliffy and the keyboard and a microphone. And it's come so far. But dude, they were doing it and they were killing it and people were loving it.
I guess when I really first came in, I didn't know what to expect. I mean, I guess Ryan didn't really know what to expect.
Salute to the DJ, man. You always gotta salute the DJ, man. Honestly, the DJ, bro, they don't get enough credit for helping a lot of these artists, man. So shout out to the DJ, bro. Like, salute.
Either. There was only a few couple shows that there wasn't a lot of people at, but for the most part, there was a lot of people at every show. So the only thing I guess me and him really always talked about was progressing the show and making the show better, because that's my job, is to take what he does in the studio and
facts,
perform it live in front of people. I guess it didn't start off like us being picky about this, like we just wanted to do shows, and now I guess we're more like we want to put on a better show, like back then it was just about getting to the show and making sure that we did them. It's changed a lot, but it's still the same in a lot of ways. Like, we're still growing 4 years later. So, and I think that's cool too. Like, I've been with something since day one, kind of, and watched the whole progression, and we're still progressing.
There was a time when I was trying to tell the venues, like, look, you got to believe in this. This kid is the next biggest thing. And they wouldn't give us shows. But now all those venues blow up our phones, our emails, our text messages, begging for shows.
And then he was doing like small shows and stuff like that, and I was like, damn, you're getting heavy into it. And I remember him giving me, between all that time, he had gave me a stack of cards. I still got a whole bunch of them too, to pass out, like promote. You know what I mean? Like, look him up on Instagram or Facebook and blah, 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 blah. These cards, double-sided. And I remember just I'd be driving down the road and throw a whole handful of them out the fucking window, you know what I'm saying? Because I knew somebody would pick them up, you know what I mean? Like, what the hell is this? We'd be in Franklin, I'd throw a whole bunch of them out on the sidewalk or whatever. Whether a person picks them up, throw them in the trash, or pick them up to look at them, they seen it regardless, so that's being promoted, you know what I mean?
I remember being at Clarksville, Tennessee, sitting there, and it was like one of the first times we sold out.
So orthodox way of word of mouth or whatever. That's not even word of mouth. That's more like not even guerrilla marketing. But anyway, that's a way of promoting. I'll tell you that, because like it's there, it's present. You somebody see, they be like, "What is it?"
The warehouse, probably close to 500 or something. I'm sitting there. The bar guy said, "Hey man, can you come outside with me?" I was like, "Sure." I didn't think anything was going to happen, I go there, next thing I know, there's a biker brawl going on, and he's taking me out. There's like his back up. Next thing I know, somebody climbs my back, starts choking me out. I end up jumping backwards, landing on the person. I look over, my buddy's choking a biker out. Next thing I know, I get up and a laser's being pointed on me by some SWAT team guy. I go inside and Ryan's like, "Everything all right with you?" I was like, "Dude, I just got choked out in the parking lot." That was the kind of shit we dealt with.
And I think the reality hit at Mercy Lounge in Nashville. That was the first show that I went to, and I nearly passed out. I had no idea that place was packed. And that was in the early beginning. And it was overwhelming. It was so overwhelming. I had no idea. And he has such great stage presence. And he was so good. It was so obvious. It was naturally, that was what he was supposed to.
See, Mama Dukes know, bruh, you got stage presence or nah? That's what make a star, really. Your music's great, man. Huh? I see you live. Duh. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta have something about you, the X factor. You know what I'm saying? If you just one-dimensional, bro, that's not gonna really make you surpass the competition. Like, your peers are doing music as well, so that's what you automatically have in common. What is setting you apart? Your image, your personality, your stage presence. You know, do you dance? You got choreography? You got moves or something? Like, see, you know, even she knows that, like, he was on to something very early. And yeah, you can't really give that to nobody. Some people, they worked at it over time. Some people, they just naturally got it.
Be doing. It was just came to him naturally. And he was so authentic, and it was just so, it was such a good show. And it kind of like took me back a minute that many people came out to see my son perform, and it just, I literally almost got sick. I mean, and they're like, I remember this one older lady there turned around and looked at me, and she said, "That's your baby up there." And she goes, "They love him like they loved Elvis Presley." And I was like, holy crap.
That was fun for me. The reason being is I already had a band where I just DJ verse drums. It's me and Kid, and we've been doing that for 10 years. So it was an easy fit. It was pretty much me going, "Hey, I got a drummer." And we rehearsed him. Literally 20 seconds in, we look over and Ryan had his shirt off and was headbanging and said he was hired. So that was the extent of Kid getting hired.
Our rehearsal was pretty much Ryan showing up in a loud-ass Mustang outside of one of those studio places in Nashville. Jumps out, he's like, "Fuck yeah, let's do this." He goes inside. We just pretty much just start playing through all these songs, and he's just sitting there literally dancing and doing the Running Man while we're playing these songs. I'm sitting here tripping all day, hoping I'm prepared enough, and this guy's just over here raging and rocking, and he's like, "Sounds good." And that was that. We started hitting it up. We started playing shows, and we took things just on to where they are now. Like, I knew I was now playing with Upchurch, but it wasn't like that was my brother yet and we were in this for life. We're just riding it out. And dude, it was awesome. That was fun. I like the challenge of just playing with the DJ. It's different than playing with a band kind of scenario. But at the same time, you know, we're presenting this kind of rap thing in an organic way, trying to like make it where it's, you know, ideally just the more you can connect with people. And I feel like we did a good job of it. You know, budget-wise was different. You know, we're riding around in our rental van, you know, sleeping across the back seat with seatbelts up your ass, you know, trying to sit there and make yourself comfortable. You know, honestly, it was thrilling. If we could have a hotel room with each our own bed, you know, we're just working with it. We're making it happen.
Before the show starts, you know, they'll go back and forth, and you know, kid will fucking and freaking clip his up bed, just and they're just going back and forth making this epic sound. And while they're doing it, they're playing songs like Hillbilly Deluxe and freaking Eminem and freaking Yellow Wolf, and it just sounds so badass. And that gets everybody pumped up. And then that's when Cliffy tells me, you know, Upchurch is coming on stage, whatever, blah blah. I don't know, I'm too into the zones this time, just know what he really says. But he introduces me, and I come on stage, and it gets me hyped too. They're not only getting the crowd hyped, they're getting me fucking hyped. And when I get on stage and I'm hyped, bro, I got ADHD. You gotta understand. When I start hearing the beats and freaking people like, yeah, I'm just like, wow, and I'm ready to fucking go, motherfucker. I'm ready to get on stage and fucking rock that shit.
Hillbilly, 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 hey, hillbilly, hillbilly, yeah. Hillbilly, 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 hillbilly. Came from the bottom like well water, bitch, 6-string, quick picking what's good, motherfucker. Rebel flag bandana, chromed out, Harley Davidson, damn motherfucker. Hillbilly, hillbilly. I stay all up in the limelight, higher than a damn kite. Might be sipping whiskey, turn the story of a bar fight. On MTV with a torchlight, smoking up a blunt while I'm playing with some tenor like bitch. I'm the barefoot rapper, everybody keeping distance from. You hear my name, you know I don't play what the fuck I'm about, where I came from. I know a lot of rednecks, know a lot of real thugs, know a lot of hillbillies, toting scraped up guns, know a lot of motherfuckers in the hottest where I'm from. With a huge big bomb, no fingers, no gold. Hillbilly, 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 here. Hillbilly, 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 hillbilly here. Hillbilly, 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 hillbilly here. Hillbilly, 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 hillbilly here.
We got to where we were working our ass off. We were doing 4 days a week, literally leaving on a Monday, doing shows Wednesday, doing like little small rinky-dink shows. We would have a show in like Florida, but we would hit the little rinky-dink shows on the way just to cover gas and stuff, not making a whole lot of money. Go do this show down here that actually would pay for the trip, and then maybe hit another couple of shows, and it got to where we were doing 12 shows a month. That's almost half the month doing shows on the road. And there's times we would do a show, drive 8-10 hours, do a show that night, drive 8-10 hours to another show. But that's what we were having to do in the beginning, because it wasn't good enough to go just do.
That's part 2, y'all. That's part 2, man. I'm gonna hop back into part 3, so obviously check me out in that. But this is super inspirational, man. Sometimes you got to do that grunt work. A lot of artists came up of the tour circuit, you know what I mean, doing rinky-dink shows. They just had an organic vibe built, a real cult following built, and that's obviously gonna resonate with you as you move forward in your career. As you get bigger and bigger, your shows get bigger and bigger, man. But hey, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow me on Instagram, Twitter at FortWorthFabian, man. We're on the road to 1 million subs, man. Peace, love, prosperity to everybody watching this reaction, watching my videos. We'll catch you in part 3, man. Much love.